Right now, in free agency, there's a lot of players that I feel could be starters in the NFL, and they're just sitting there. So today, we're going to see if a team of only free agents can win a Super Bowl. So here's what the team is going to be looking like. As quarterback, we got Matt Ryan because he's not officially retired, Teddy Bridgewater, and Carson Wentz. And then for running back, obviously this is probably the most stacked part of the team. We have Dalvin Cook, who's yet to sign a deal, but there's rumors he's going to sign with the Jets. Ezekiel Elliott and Kareem Hunt and Leonard Fournette, they're all really good backs. I just think they're asking for way too much money. And with the fact that teams are not willing to pay running backs that kind of money right now, I don't know if they're going to get a deal. But we'll see what happens with the running back market because right now it's kind of at a standstill with how things are going. Wide receivers, it's in Madden, they look okay, but in real life, they really aren't that good. You have Jarvis Landry, Julio Jones, and then you have T.Y. Hilton, Sammy Watkins, Kenny Galladay, and Quintus Cephas. All they were good at one point in their career, but right now they're just kind of meh. So not really that crazy about it. Taylor Lewan from the Titans, Dalton Risner, Ben Jones also from the Titans, Gabe Jackson, and Jason Peters. Yep, Jason Peters. That's our O-line. It's not terrible. I've seen worse O-lines in Madden. The fact that you have an 80, a 78, 82, a 78, and then a 74 on this side, probably not the best. Honestly, you could probably start Chase Ruler here, and you'd be better off, which is probably what's going to happen. This team is just kind of mediocre. They're an 80 across the board, which is honestly a little bit high for what I expected. But then for tight ends, you have Cameron Brate. Who is this? Max Williams. To be honest with you, I have no clue who he is. I looked at Sports Track to see who's a free agent right now, and he was one of the top guys, and he was a top guy in Madden, so I have no clue where he's from or who he is. So let me know down in the comments below if you know who he is, because I have no clue. Defensively, probably not our best unit, not at all really, but it's not terrible. It could be much, much worse. I think the best part of this team is the corners. The best part of this defense is the corners. You have Byron Jones, Casey Hayward Jr., William Jackson III, Jason Verrett, and Kyle Fuller. You have Robert Quinn, Mario Addison on the defensive line with Jadeveon Clowney, Ndamukong Suh, who's always been really good. He just had some quote-unquote character issues, like stomping on people's arms when he got frustrated. Nothing crazy. I mean, every football player probably gets the urge. He just didn't hold back. And then you have John Johnson, LaMarcus Joyner, Kyle Joseph, and Ronnie Harrison Jr. for safeties. AJ Bouye is also on the team. For special teams, you have Robbie Gould and Lee. Robbie Gould honestly looks like a head coach. I'm not even going to lie. He just looks like your average head coach. And Andy Lee is our punter. For return specialists, we have Andre Roberts and Jarvis Landry. And for our specialists, we have in the slot, we have AJ Bouye. That's most likely where he plays in real life. Right end is Jadeveon Clowney. Matthew Ioannidis is rush D tackle. Robert Quinn is rush right end. Miles Jack is sub linebacker. T.Y. Hilton is a slot receiver. Third down back is Dalvin Cook. Power back is Ezekiel Elliott, who's also playing fullback for us. I decided to go with the Panthers playbook because it's more of a run-heavy playbook. And gets, these two guys in the game a little bit more. And I think it's beneficial for a worse quarterback to be in that system. And then for defense, I just kept it the same for the Cardinals. So we're going to see how they're able to do in year number one. Everyone's on a one-year deal. So after this season, this team is completely done for. So there's not going to be, progressing years where I try to rebuild the team. It's not really possible because literally everyone's going to be gone from this roster and not a single person is going to be staying. So I really don't know how that's going to work. It's going to be probably a short, simple video, but if you like this kind of content, make sure to like and subscribe. And also let me know down in the comments below what more I should do, because honestly, this could also turn into I only draft. Like a only draft rebuild, because I've already taken the time and everyone's going to be off the team next year, so I could probably sign people in free agency, trade them for picks, or just give myself a shit ton of picks and do it that way. But we'll see. So let's see how they do in their year and see if they're able to make the Super Bowl like the title says. At the midseason mark, surprisingly, this team isn't doing that bad. They're 6-1, and they have the 16th best offensive points per game, 7th best rushing yards per game, and they have the 3rd best defense, points per game wise. Let's look at the stats real quick, because I'm going to be pretty certain that, Matt Ryan isn't doing much. 1,500 yards, 11 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. But rushing, Dalvin Cook has 658 yards, 3 touchdowns. Ezekiel Elliott has 121, 6 touchdowns. So, he's doing what he needs to do. Julio Jones is leading the team with 400 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jarvis Landry, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. Cameron Brate, 300 yards, 4 touchdowns. That's really surprising, because in the Panthers playbook, the tight end is used fairly low. But Dalvin Cook, 200 yards, 1 touchdown. Not bad. Ezekiel Elliott, 10 receptions, 83 yards, 1 touchdown. Defensively, it looks like we are getting a little bit of pressure with Robert Quinn, 7.5. Jadeveon Clowney, 6.5. Miles Jack, 1.5. Interception-wise, Casey Hayward stepping up. 3 interceptions for him, 2 for Byron Jones, 1 for Kyle Fuller, Carl Joseph, and Zach Cunningham. So it looks like our defense is just playing pretty well. Other than that, I don't know what else to check here. So I think we're just going to sim to the end of the season and see if we can keep up with our 6-1 record, and maybe we'll even go undefeated for the rest of the time and finish 16-1. The Cardinals finished 14-3 as only free agents. I honestly can't believe it, because I didn't expect them to do that. But, you live and you learn. Maybe free agents is the way to go. They were 6th in offensive points per game with 28.1. They had the worst offensive passing yards per game at 29. The best offensive rush yards per game at 4. The second best defensive points per game at 21.5. And they were just kind of mediocre in the defensive pass yards per game. But defensive rush yards per game, they were one of the best at only 89.5, which in Madden is pretty good in my opinion. Can't be mad at that at all. Matt Ryan didn't really have the best season, but to be honest with you, the playbook doesn't really favor him that much. It favors the running backs. So he had about 4,000 yards, 31 touchdowns to 13 interceptions. Dalvin Cook had 1,600 yards to 12 touchdowns, while Ezekiel Elliott had about 500 yards to 14 touchdowns. Very good year from him. Julio Jones breaks 1,000 yards for 12 touchdowns. Jarvis Landry almost breaks 1,000 for 6 touchdowns, as well as Cameron Brate, 6 touchdowns. T.Y. Hilton had 600 yards, 3 touchdowns. Dalvin Cook, 500 yards, 3 touchdowns. So he eclipsed over 2,000 yards total in this season. Very good from him. 163 yards from Ezekiel Elliott, 1 touchdown. Nothing to smirk at all. Very good, respectable stats. Jadeveon Clowney is starting to live up to the expectations he had when he first came into the league with 21 sacks. Robert Quinn not too far behind with 14.5, but there's a massive drop-off where Trey Flowers, Matthew Ioannidis, and Ndamukong Suh all have 3. Casey Hayward stepped it up big time in the second half, having 4. Byron Jones, 3. Miles Jack, 2, as well as Carl Joseph, LaMarcus Joyner, and Kyle Fuller. 1 for Zach Cunningham and John Johnson. Now, there's really not else for me to check other than awards to see if we won anything, and it doesn't look like we did, and sadly, he doesn't come up on here. I was looking for Dalvin Cook, but it doesn't look like he's going to be up here, and it doesn't even, he's 5th for Offensive Player of the Year after eclipsing over 5,000 yards. 2,000 yards. That is nuts to me. No other Cardinals here. Defensive Player of the Year, Jadeveon Clowney wins it. A very good year from him at only an 81 overall. Robert Quinn at 6. No other Cardinals. We're not going to have any rookies. But let's go and see if we can win the Super Bowl, because that's really the main goal of the video, but I really don't know if it's possible. We're going against the 9-8 49ers this week. They are 87 across the board. We are much worse than them on paper, but we win 35-21. And now we are going against the Dallas Cowboys, who are also 87 across the board, but a much better sim team. We win 31-7. Okay. Now we're going to go against the Cincinnati Bengals, who are an 88 offense and 85 defense, 86 overall. And let's hop into this one. So we're jumping in now. It's 28-14 in the fourth quarter. And we have to go a little bit down the field. Nothing crazy. It's very doable, but we're going to try to see if we can come back and win this game. Dalvin Cook is open up the seam, and he's going to get down to about... Oh, he fumbles the ball? Did we pick it up? Oh my God, thank God we picked it up. That is the worst timing ever. Jarvis Landry saves our butts there, and he's able to help us in a way he'll never understand. Because if we would have lost the ball there, it would have been game over. And oh, that was a terrible, terrible play by me. I didn't get the ball out, didn't get a good read on anything. But we are close to the goal line. It's 2nd and goal. I think running the ball here is probably a dumb idea, but we're going to do it anyway in hopes that our line can stay alive. We only get 3 yards there. 4 yards until we get to the end zone. Cameron Brate is in at tight end. T.Y. Hilton is in at slot. We're going to take a look. Running out of the pocket with Matt Ryan. Such a dumb decision. You can't run out of the pocket. I'm so used to having an agile quarterback normally in Madden that sometimes I forget that you can have some terrible quarterback. I don't know what to put Dalvin on. I mean, he's probably going to be the best bet. Oh, we throw an interception at the goal line. That's completely on me. And we missed that tackle. And he's going to run it back for a touchdown. To be honest with you, that was just bad play calling on my part. I think they were driving down the field just fine before I stepped in, and then I do that. So let's skip to offense, and we are going to see if we can help them. And no, we can't. It just completely skips everything. They lose 35-14. Not the outcome that we were looking for, but the outcome we're going to get. I probably shouldn't have stepped in, but they were down by 14 anyway, so I don't think it really would have mattered too much. But, you know, it is what it is. The team of all free agents make it to the Super Bowl. Sadly, they lose to Joe Burrow. But if there's any team that I would rather lose to, it'd be the Bengals, because Joe Burrow really deserves the Super Bowl after everything that he's gone through in a season. He tore his ACL as a rookie, comes back the next season, takes his team to the Super Bowl. And then the next season after that, he takes his team back to the conference championship or the divisional. I'm not sure which one it is. And loses to the Chiefs, who inevitably win the Super Bowl. I think the Bengals are a really good team. They deserve it. So there you go, Bengals fan. There's your Super Bowl against a team of all free agents. If you like this kind of content, like I said before, make sure to like and subscribe, because I do content like this all the time. And I'm trying to grow my fan base because I'm a small channel. And, you know, hopefully I could make this something that I do and make a little bit of money off of, because it's always been a dream of mine to make money off of YouTube and make videos, and I've finally started to do it and actually try. And I hope you guys can see that in my editing and my thumbnails. Compared to some of my old thumbnails a long time ago, it is much, much better. So, like I said before, thank you guys for watching, and peace.